Hi, it's Jocelyn Hillam here with Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood, and I want to encourage you in your motherhood. Motherhood can be extremely tiresome, burdensome, heavy, hard, and difficult. It can come with a lot more things than we kind of thought, and look a lot different than maybe we had thought motherhood was going to look in our minds. Maybe we grew up really wanting to be a mother, not in motherhood, but you know what I mean. We really wanted to be a mother, and then here we are in motherhood, and it is hard. It is very difficult. We've got children with personalities that are hard. We've got a house to keep up for, food to keep up on, stomachs to be fed, not naps to be had, and it is a lot. It really can be a lot. But today I just want to encourage you and remind you to take a few minutes to give yourself grace. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Thanks for joining. I encourage positivity on this podcast because changing my thoughts in my motherhood and around my motherhood has changed my motherhood. And it has changed it for the better. And I know that as you implement what you learn on this podcast into your life, it can help you in your motherhood as well. One of the things I've had to learn is to give myself grace. I think I talked about this also on Tuesday in the pregnancy episode that I do. Every Tuesday I do a pregnancy-focused episode, and I also talked about grace in that episode during pregnancy. But today I want to focus it a little bit more on motherhood. Because there's so many things to be done in motherhood. The lists are endless. The things we would like to do, the things we would like to do for our children, the things we would like to teach our children, the books we would like to read our children, the places we want to go with them, the things we want to build and create and do, and the memories we want to create. There are so many things that sometimes it can get so overwhelming that we just sit on a couch on our phone and do none of it. I know, because I have done that, and it's not ideal. That's not where I want my motherhood to be. And I'm guessing that if you're listening to this podcast, that is not where you want your motherhood to be either. You feel like there's more, and you want to find the more without completely burning out and overwhelming yourself. I've also had those phases where I felt like I can do it all, and I'm going to do it all, and this is going to be awesome. But before too long, I burn out, I get discouraged, it's too hard, and then I get discouraged in my goals and my self-confidence, and I feel like a terrible mother, and then I start acting like a terrible mother. And that is not who I desire to be. And I know that's not who you desire to be either. So today we're going to talk about giving yourself grace, giving ourselves grace in this season of raising children. A lot of what giving yourself grace can look like is basically reshifting your thought patterns. So if your house is pretty messy, you've got a few children and it is impossibly hard to get them to clean up, and it's just messy, it's scattered, and you don't love it. Give yourself grace and change your thought pattern. So instead of thinking, wow, my house is a mess and I hate this, motherhood sucks, this is terrible, I'm just in constant mess, I can't keep on top of anything, and I can't even get my kids to do anything. This is miserable, this is so hard, why did I pick this? I don't love it. Instead of having thoughts like that, as we give ourselves grace and we shift our thoughts, it will actually help us to enjoy motherhood better. And we also can deepen our love for our children through doing this. So some of those thoughts can look like, I am so grateful I have children. I am so grateful that they are happy, healthy, and messy. I am grateful that they have a house to play in. I feel deep gratitude that I have the blessing and the privilege of being a mother. I feel so inspired that God entrusted me with his children, and what an incredible gift that is. And I am grateful for it. Now, some of those thoughts are going to be really hard for you to get to. You may not be able to go from, I hate this messy house, to, I love this messy house. And that's okay. I can't do it either. That's why we try and find middle ground thoughts that can help us get to a place where our mind is more happy. So maybe instead of, I hate this messy house, I'm grateful that I have children that are healthy and happy. That one to me is always a good kind of reminder that I've got healthy children that like to play and can help us to find the gratitude and grace. So I've kind of shifted away from grace a little bit with that thought work, but grace also is the thought work. So instead of beating yourself up, this is the real grace part. Instead of beating yourself up that your house is a mess, you can't teach your kids all the values in one day, you can't get to all the activities you want to do, the hobbies, the crafts, the creations, the places. Instead of beating yourself up that none of that is happening the way you want it to, be okay with your season of life and where you're at. And tell yourself that. I am okay with this season of life. This season of life, this season of my motherhood is beautiful. And I'm going to choose to love it. I'm going to choose to find good in the chaos, to find gratitude in the mess, and to enjoy motherhood, to enjoy this season of life. Let go of the guilt. I think grace is a lot of that, or at least I've come to understand it and use it as that. It's letting go of the heavy guilt that actually keeps us trapped in negativity, and being okay with some of the things that we can't do. We can't be perfect. We can't do all the things that we want to do. And we can't always be the woman that we want to be. And that's okay. Give yourself grace and not guilt. And you will find it lighter and easier to start doing a few of the things you want to. Even just 10 minutes of something that you want to, either with your children or for yourself. But if you are beating yourself up over all the things that you are not doing, over all the things you wish you could do, over how your house is not perfect, over how you don't even have a house, over how you wish you had a yard, if you are feeling guilt and negativity and shame over those maybe facts in your life, it's going to hold you in negativity and keep you back from being the mom that your children need, the mom that you desire to be. So my encouragement to you is to give yourself grace, but also shift those negative thoughts when they come. Change the negative to the positive. An easy way to do this is just to find gratitude. It sounds really simple when I just talk about it, but it can be actually really difficult to implement and to think of the gratitude. It takes practice, but I know with practice and I know with intentionality that you can do it. I am rooting for you, Mama. Keep trying. Don't give up in this noble and righteous calling. You will be blessed for trying. It doesn't have to look perfect. The Lord loves effort. He loves you just the way you are right now. He loves your children just the way they are right now. And He wants the best for you. And that might be to give yourself some grace. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you for sharing this podcast with your mom friends and your sisters and telling them what you've learned and how it has enlightened your life. But most of all, thank you for implementing these tools into your own life. Because as you implement these thought tools, these mind work shifts around giving yourself grace in motherhood, around cleaning your house, and around any other thing that happens in motherhood, that you can become a happier mother. You can be the mom that you desire through shifting. You got this. Keep it up. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.